2, 1, 0.
Uno, dos, tres, cuatro.
Hello, women over 40. Welcome. My name is Lisa Kelly. Of course, I'm always joined by the beautiful Elvira Hopper. Love you.
Love you more.
Today, our Wellness Wednesday, conversations to raise vibrations, because that is our purpose on this planet, to raise vibrations, raise consciousness on this planet. Yes. So we have, both of us, grown to love these chats. And I do know that there's so many of you that have grown to love these chats as well. So if you're joining us live, please just put in the chats who you are. If you haven't given StreamYard permission to share your name. And if you have, please, Janet, I knew Janet was going to.
Oh, hello, Janet. We love Janet so much.
Someone who has come to love these chats, and we have come to see her. And so many others of you. If you're about to watch this on YouTube, that our channel is going to launch next week. I can officially say that.
Yay!
So if you're on YouTube, please just subscribe and share to your heart's content. We would so appreciate it. Joanne, another one we love so much.
Hello, Joanne.
So excited.
And so nice.
I know. And yesterday I posted something on our group, and Elvira and I both decided this is something we need to talk about today. Yeah. So we are going to talk about what I shared yesterday. And do you want me to start by sharing the quote that we?
Yeah. Okay. Why don't you do that? Yeah.
For those of you that have missed it, if you didn't see it, that's okay. I'm going to share the quote, but I did write a little blurb about it. So here we go. I think I need to watch this, but I'm going to do my best. This is from Marianne Williamson's The Gift of Change. Okay, if you haven't read it, I highly recommend it. It's just such a beautiful book, and I'm getting so much more the second time around. It's not up to us what we learn, but only whether we learn through joy or pain. But if we don't yet trust that every situation is a lesson, we don't bother to ask ourselves what the lesson is. Unless we do, our chances of learning it are nil. Then the lesson will reappear with even higher stakes until we learn it. We may as well learn it the first time when the chance to learn through joy is still available. The more times a lesson has come around, the more pain it will generate. If you know in your heart that something is wrong, then ignoring it won't make it any less so. It will simply make it fixing it even harder when it is brought about by a louder noise than the original sound of God's whisper in your ear. Right?
Ooh. Yeah.
I loved that.
Yeah.
And
so
I read
brilliant.
it, I highlighted the whole thing, and I thought, I've got to share this on the group, which I did, and received so many comments, because I think we can all relate to that. Right? And that's the purpose, Elvira, of these conversations, raising vibrations, so that we're not continuously in that cycle of repeating the same lesson over and over. Because as Marianne says, and as we've said before, unless you learn that lesson, unless you sit with whatever it is you're meant to learn and listen, as she says, to God's whisper, that whisper is going to get louder and louder and louder. And like I wrote in my post yesterday, it could very well easily turn into dis-ease in the body. And that's what we don't need. We need to catch it before it goes into that, right?
Yeah.
And I just, you know what, I'm going to let you speak for a minute, but there is somebody that wrote something on our page that I want to share that kind of goes with that.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Oh my God, Lisa, that was such a brilliant share when you posted it. I was just like, yes, we got to talk about this. And you were like, yeah, I thought the same thing. We're so on the same page. Yeah. And, you know, and the word God, if you don't believe in God, like you can fill that in with whatever you believe in, you know, the universe, spirit, source, you know, the force, like in Star Wars, you know, whatever you believe in, right? It's the force, it's the source force. Actually, that's one of the cute phrases that Eleanor and I, she's one of the leaders in the Love Your Vibe transformation. We have a podcast, and those two words came out together. It's the source force, right? It's like there's a force that's taking care of you. Like it wants you to succeed. It has your back, right? Has all our backs. It's the creative force that created the stars and the heavens and every one of us on the planet, right? So if you believe that you're here not by accident, that you're here for something bigger, you have to believe that the source force or God or spirit or whatever you want to call it is going to allow you to have the lessons that you need in order to serve in a way that only you can. And
Yes.
sometimes those of us that have gone through some harsh lessons are here to help others to get
Yeah.
out sooner, so they
Yes.
don't have to struggle as long.
Yeah.
So if you see that you're struggling, and you're like, I'm thinking of the movie, Groundhog Day. Like, I think we talked
Yeah.
about that on another. Like,
Yeah.
he went through the same day over and over and over because he started off as a total asshole. Like, he was so selfish and so self-centered and, narcissist. At the end, he was virtually Mother Teresa because he went through essentially all these lifetimes in one
Yeah.
lifetime. He had to be hit upside the head with, like you described in the thing, like, first God will whisper. This is what Oprah says. First God will whisper, then God talks, then God shouts, then
Yeah.
God hits you upside the head, right?
Yeah.
So if you see yourself struggling, do you really have to wait till you're hit upside the head? I know I was, and part of my purpose is to help people, to go from here to here, hopefully easier than I went through it, right?
Yeah.
So yes, we all have purposes. Some of us are meant to go through the really harsh lessons. Other of us maybe don't have to. Maybe some of us can go a little bit easier because of someone else's story, right? So I just wanted to share that. Does that make sense, Lisa?
Makes total sense. And what's coming to me too is these conversations that we have
Hmm.
are hopefully lifting you up so that you're like, you have that aha, right? That
Yeah.
you don't
Yeah.
have to continue to sit there in the harshness, in the victimhood mentality, in whatever pain you're in.
Yeah.
When I wrote on the page yesterday, if you're in pain, sit with the pain,
Yeah.
feel the pain.
Yeah.
Well, we do, and we've talked about this on the page again over and over as well. But so many of us, and I include me in that, sat and whatever, binge watch Netflix, go out and shop,
Yeah.
have a glass of wine, do whatever they do to avoid their pain.
Numb
And that's
out. We call it numbing out. Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
God, source energy, whatever you want to call it, interchange the word like Elvira said. But that's when he smacks you or she smacks you upside, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And like I'm just sort of reading the quotes here, the post. Sorry, Tori Joe. Yeah,
Hi, Tori
unfortunately,
Joe. Yeah.
yeah, unfortunately, most human egos need that smack against the head.
Mm.
It's true because our egos are running the show.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the more quiet we can get, the more we step into the light that is truly within us, the more quiet we can get.
Yeah.
Then we're able to hear the whisper.
The
Otherwise,
whisper. Yeah.
like Tori Joe's saying that we're going to need that smack against the head, and it's not always pleasant.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
So,
well, it's not pleasant at all. And, and that's why we meditate, right? So, I mean, if you take, one tool away from today, I'm just going to put it out there.
yeah,
Start a meditative practice in
yes,
2022. I just had a 1 hour meditation this morning. It felt so good. Like, usually I do about half hour. Today
yeah,
I did an hour. I said, I feel like doing an hour today. And I
amazing.
did. And I just feel so refreshed. And I had like some downloads come, so ideas that were coming from, the divine. And, anyway, it's amazing when you get quiet, your soul speaks to you, or the divine, which is one, right? You are connected to the
Oh,
divine. Your soul is one with the divine. So when you get quiet, you can hear that. And
yes,
and you don't have to continue having the same day over and over and over and call that a life, right? You don't have to be in the movie Groundhog Day forever.
yeah,
You can wake up sooner by saying, okay, you know what? I'm not happy. And I know that there's more here available for me. There's tons of people that have made it their life purpose to support you, to be honest. And Lisa does it in her way, I do it my way. Tons of other amazing people in this group do it their way. I think Tori Joe does some beautiful things, as a very spiritual woman who's very
she
powerful.
is. She's
I
incredible.
Yeah.
Yes,
So, anyway, there's people that can support, and there's books you can read, and there's practices you can do like meditation. So you don't have to sit with the struggle and be in that low vibration where you're essentially a crap magnet. When you're in
Yeah.
a low vibration, you're attracting all the
Yeah.
things you don't want. You
Yeah.
can shift to be a miracle magnet. This is
Yeah.
the work that my team and I do. And it is such a joy and privilege to help people with their mindset shifting so that
Yes.
they can attract better things. Yeah.
You know what? I'm just going to piggyback off of what you
Yeah.
said about meditation, because when you're in a meditation, okay, if you don't get these aha, you call them downloads, if you don't get these aha moments in meditation, that's okay. You're still quieting your brain, you're still quieting yourself,
Yeah.
um, in order for you to feel more when you do go out into the world. And
Yeah.
that could appear, that the quote, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. That could appear in the form of a post somebody wrote, or you
Yeah.
saw something that just kind of the light bulb went off. It could appear as a book. It could appear as someone coming into your life.
Yeah.
But the more you sort of get out, and as Abraham calls it, the emotional guidance scale, the more you get up on that emotional guidance scale, the more you are opening yourself up
Yeah.
to the universe, to the
Yes.
miracles that are going to occur into your life. And Joanne,
Yes.
I just want to comment. So,
Yeah.
Joanne, one, sometimes we don't know what we don't know. Very
So true, Joanne. Yeah.
so true. Two, depends on where we are on the emotional scale. Yes, that's what I just talked about. And
Yeah.
three, help is required when you don't yet have the consciousness.
Yes.
Very
Oh,
good.
yes.
So,
Yes.
so,
So, so good. Oh, I
so,
love you, Joanne. She's bang on.
yeah.
Honestly, like I know some people, in the group have been, um, I don't want to say, uh, questioning, the coaches that, come forth and want to
Mhm.
assist people that are struggling. There's ways and ways of doing that, like sliding into someone's DMs and just saying, "Hey, buy my product," is not cool. We
Mm-mm.
don't want to do that. But you know what? We can't hide the fact that we can help because we've been through the struggle and we've got systems that can help. And we see people struggling. So it's like you're seeing a person dying of thirst. You got to give them some water. You see them
Yes,
dying of hunger. You want to offer them a
I
sandwich,
love
right?
that. Yeah.
So that's what it's about, right? There's nothing wrong with that. So there is no shame in asking for support and going towards the source that speaks most to you. And you've got tons of amazing sources right here in this beautiful group.
Oh my
And
goodness, so many.
yeah,
So many. And I just had a call last night with another woman from the page. She's in Australia, and we had a Zoom call last night. And another beautiful soul that is here to serve on this planet and shine her
nice.
light. And she also is intuitively guided. So it's so beautiful. And her and I connected. I did tell her to connect with you too, by the way.
Oh, thank you, Lisa.
Okay, so there's this woman on this page, and I'm going to share this because it is
Yeah.
exactly what we're talking about.
Mm,
Tori Joe just said it's important to get comfortable with our discomfort, otherwise it's
mm,
going to grow. And I think that's what happens, right, with us.
yeah.
That
Yeah.
it does grow, and then we just become comfortable with the what's the word I'm looking for? Like the status quo, where
Yeah. Yeah.
things are, right?
Yeah.
So this woman, and I did ask her permission to share this, but she did put it on our group, so I'm sure she's not going to mind me sharing this. But she said, "This is probably to some of you a small step forward, but it was a giant realization for me this morning. I was reading here about how many posts are about divorce, and then read the comment about a regularly scheduled Zoom meeting here, listed under the featured section here. While I am 63 and still have a lot to learn about using these groups because I have never even looked under the featured section. Wow, a whole new wealth of support and inspiring clips there that shook me up about redefining how I think of myself. It might seem harsh to some to hear about not constantly posting about divorce woes here, but it was such a wake up for me. The more you focus on who you are now and who or where you want to be, the closer you get there. Thank you for the clips and featured. I just had a light bulb go off in my head after scrolling through there. It was like being pulled out of bed where I felt safe, warm, but I was there because I was too scared to get out of and face the world. I can't put it into words well enough, but realizing that I have a tendency to think about only of who I am by what I have been through. And now seeing that I am who I see myself wanting to be.
Mm,
That's such an aha. right?
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
heart that this woman had, and I'm
Oh,
so grateful for her post. I can't say that
it's
enough. And that
beautiful.
is the exact reason that we don't want these constant, posts about, oh, woe is me and victimhood mentality.
Yeah.
And that, again, it serves a purpose. I get it. I was there once
Yeah.
21
Yeah.
years ago, so I understand. But it doesn't serve us to stay in that place.
Yeah.
It really, really doesn't.
Yeah.
Janet says such a powerful, oh, Tori Joe says, oh, wow, I'm bawling. So powerful.
I know. I was bawling earlier when Lisa read it, but
I
yeah,
felt when you read it. I was like, oh my gosh.
so
And that was
beautiful.
a few little videos and posts in the featured section.
Yeah.
Imagine how people feel when they start watching these, videos, because we are here to serve and we
Yeah.
just want to pull people out of their bed from that
Yeah.
safe
Oh.
comfort zone. I liked her analogy there, so I'm going to use it. Right? Let's get up.
Oh,
It's time to wake up and shine your light. Right?
yeah. Yeah. Oh,
So
you just so many chills of confirmation. Yeah.
I mean,
And that's why we're here. And that's why you started this group, Lisa. Like you were guided to create this
100%.
group, which
Yes.
now has how many members globally?
Uh, I think there's, almost 17,000.
17,000. Oh my God, that is amazing. And Lisa, it's because you are living your purpose. When you live your purpose,
Yeah,
people find you
yeah,
because you're living your purpose. And this is why I love being a part of this, just
yeah,
being your partner in this one little piece of this group,
yes,
because you're such a powerful soul and you're here to help humanity to evolve
yeah,
and heal and evolve. And this is what our work is about too with the Love Your Vibe transformation. It's all about healing and evolving, because you don't need to be stuck just because you have a story that happened actually for you, not to you, because you were
yes,
meant to go through it so
thank
that you
you.
could become more of yourself, and you don't need to stay stuck for that long. You can stay stuck for a little bit. Okay, I shouldn't even use the word stuck. You can be in the thick of it for a while and feel your feelings, journal your feelings. Highly recommend journaling your feelings, because when you do that, you feel the feelings and you
Yes,
journal about them,
yes,
and then they dissipate. It's
yes,
like taking the air out of a balloon, right? It
yes,
just falls to the ground. So, not saying not to feel your feelings. If you're angry, feel the anger, journal about the anger. Maybe you're meant to write a book about, leaving a narcissistic spouse behind. And, this is how I got through, and maybe you're meant to feel those feelings so you can write about them.
yeah,
So feel them, definitely feel them, and then decide, okay, I'm better than this.
yes,
I want to move forward.
yes,
And it's not like you're never going to go back, cuz like, evolving and growing, healing and growing is kind of like a cha-cha, right? Two
yes,
steps forward, one step back. But at least you're on that path. At least you're moving forward, as opposed to just staying stuck and saying, nope, all men are assholes and my husband did me wrong. And you just want to tell your story to the next person and the next person and be stuck there, right? Like that is not what we recommend you to do. We
no,
recommend you to feel it and move forward, right?
yes.
Feel it to heal it and then move forward,
I
right?
love that. Feel it to heal it and then move forward. Because when you are feeling it, and I wrote this in the post, when you're sitting there and you're really honoring that pain, and I shared last week I was vulnerable with some of my stuff that I had to
Mhm.
sit and feel. And
Yeah.
when you do, you're allowing space, and I always talk about the crown chakra, right? You're allowing space for it to move up and out of your crown chakra,
Yeah.
or move down and out through your root chakra, whatever.
Mm.
But I always use the crown chakra because I'm
Yeah.
always pulling in the higher light too to help
Yeah.
move it through. But when you do that, it actually dissipates quicker than
Yeah.
if you were to ignore it and move on.
Exactly.
Because like Marianne Williamson talked about in her quote, it's just going to keep coming. It's just going to keep
Yep.
coming. It's just going
Yep.
to, you are going to have to relearn the same lesson over and over and over again.
Yeah. Groundhog Day. Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have to go through Groundhog Day. You
No.
can, move on as soon as you're ready.
Yes.
Process and then move on.
Yes.
But the awareness that, it's okay to be in the crap for a while, but then just don't get stuck there. Like the way I describe it with the Love Your Vibe transformation is, it's okay to go there, visit, don't unpack and live there, right? So you want to get out of that as soon as you're able to. And yeah, there will be times where you're going to go back. I say if you can live 90% of the time in your higher self zone, we call that your VAP, vibration of authentic power.
Yep.
If you can live in that zone, that's where you are yourself. You live with love and joy and prosperity and laughter and all the good high vibration feelings. But if you're 10% in the shit, that's okay. You're a human and you're allowed to process and then get back into your zone, right? And this is what we teach and hold space for people to learn it, and it becomes part of their, it changes their brain, because neuroplasticity shows us that we can change our brain when we start thinking and behaving in different ways. And so this is something you can learn. If you don't have it right now, you can learn it, right? And I know your work, Lisa, is very beautiful and unique, and you can get people breakthroughs really quickly because of your modalities and
Mhm.
your beautiful Huna healing. And yeah, do you want to say anything else about that?
Well, it's the work you do. That's what I want to say is it it is the work. I
Yeah,
was talking to a client just, recently, and I said, here's all the tools that I would recommend right now, but it is work. Like,
yeah,
and God will, source energy, universe, whatever, will be there for you when
yes,
you put one foot in front of the other. And that's
yes.
all there's a quote, a beautiful quote, Martin Luther King Jr. is where I read it. I'm not sure if he said it, but it was where I read it. And you don't have to see the whole staircase. You just need to see the
Yes.
first step. And I don't know why
Yeah.
that just stuck with me because well, it
It's
makes me feel like, great, I don't need to know everything. I can
yeah.
just put one foot in front of the other.
Yeah.
And guess what? The universe is right there to support me. And then
Yeah.
it's gonna light up the next step and show me where I need to go next on
Yeah.
my healing journey or whatever it is that you're doing in your business, in
Yeah.
your relationship, and whatever it is you're doing. But ultimately, our soul is here to grow and expand.
Mhm.
That's the two reasons we're here, is to grow and expand. And whether you choose that, because we all have free will,
Yeah.
right? So whether you choose that, you choose to lay in bed and stay stuck, that's your choice.
Yeah. Did
Um,
it for many years.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
we've all done it. But now, as you say, we know such a quicker way, and a much
Yeah.
beautiful way. But that beautiful way still takes tools. Like last week when I was feeling really down and out, I still had to use my tools.
Of
It wasn't,
course.
oh,
I'd be dead without my tools. If I
right.
wasn't loving my vibe every day, I would be in a gutter somewhere or dead.
Yes.
Like
You still have
seriously.
to sit and do the work. You still
Yeah.
have to sit in a
Yeah.
meditation. You still have to pick up a pen and journal. You still
Yeah.
have to get outside for what? You still have to do the work, right? And I
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
Tori Joe said on here, and I think she said, your purpose is to bring women together to rise and go beyond their pain and their paralysis. I love that.
I love that. Oh, Tori
Yeah,
Joe.
right?
Beautiful. Yeah.
Because you do have to move beyond your pain and your paralysis, or you
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah.
And then that
It's
is
your
your life.
choice. It's
It
your
is
choice. And you know what? There's a lot of people that are going to die with their real music still in them. And this is
yes.
one expression I use because they never fully connect to why they were brought here. And they
Mhm.
just go through the same day over and over and complain and bitch and moan. And, like it's their choice to do that.
Yeah.
They're choosing it. And then they die, and one of the biggest, and this sounds so terrible and scary, but one of the biggest regrets on people's deathbeds is I didn't live a life for myself.
Mm,
I lived it to please others and I didn't do everything I wanted to do. And to
yes.
me, that is such a tragedy.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I know that I'm not going to die with my real music still in me.
You're
My
living it,
father
sis.
did. I'm living it. Like
You're living it.
and literally real music. I recorded my first jazz album at Jazz Bistro. Like I
Yay.
wanted to be a jazz singer when I was 11 years old and I was told those women were sluts, and it shut me down for so many years, but I did it later in life. At 51, I became a professional jazz
Yeah.
singer. Now I'm an award-winning professional jazz singer. So it's like anything is possible, guys. And there's a great book by my friend Dr. Larry Farwell called the science of creating miracles. And this is
Yeah.
for the people that think that miracles are woo woo and up here and, but there's an actual science behind creating miracles. And it
100%.
has to do with your mindset, and it has to do with calling in the forces of nature, spirit, source, God, universe, that it's been proven in the lab that our mindset can actually affect the equipment in a scientific lab, like
Yes.
the double slit experiment. Say that 5 times fast. The double slit experiment shows that our thoughts actually affect electrons, like
Oh,
or
yeah.
protons. I forget which one they use, but my friend Dr. Larry Farwell wrote the book, and I'd love to share the link, or you can just Google it and buy it on
Very
Amazon.
cool. I think
But
it's great.
yeah, but for people that are less woo woo and more science based, it's just a great read. I don't know, Janet, did you end up reading it? I know I've shared it with you. Janet is actually, if it's okay to mention, I'm going to mention anyway, she's a retired pharmacist. So she's got a lot of science in her background, very smart woman, and has come over to the spiritual in her, I call it authentic second act, or authentic act two. And, she's embraced more of the integrative medicine. So
Yeah.
it's not just about, giving people pills and, go away. It's about using all the other modalities we have to help people.
Yeah.
And it's so beautiful to have her on my team, because she is all about, using alternative modalities to help people. And hope I haven't said too much, Janet, but I just wanted to give you a shout out below. Yeah, this
You know
is
what? I want
great.
to go back for 1 second because I thought it was Tori Joe that talked about the paralysis. It was she's just correcting me, Desiree B. Carey. So
Oh,
thank
okay.
you, Desiree, for joining us. Thank you. Thank
Thank
you.
you, Desiree.
Yay. What I was thinking just now is, given that New Year's is coming up, and I've had this thought before. I don't know what your ritual is for New Year's. Um, a lot of times, what I like to do many years, and I thought we'd share this with viewers, is, given that what we've just talked about as well, is letting go, surrendering a lot of the stuff that we've gone through. So looking at 2021, my husband and I will sit down, and my daughter, if she's home, but who knows what she's doing, just write out things that you're grateful for 2021, things that you're want to see let go of and surrender and say goodbye to, and just things that you feel so proud of that you've accomplished this year.
Hmm.
And then you can either burn that, right? We choose to burn it. We have a fire and we burn it. And then we write down a list of intentions. I call them intentions versus goals. It just resonates.
Me too, Lisa. I don't like goals.
Yeah.
There's something about goals doesn't resonate. I used to be corporate for 20 years, so
That's
goals are like
yeah, it's
gone. Yeah.
business, and I'm more of like the
Yeah.
woo woo world.
Yeah. 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 Intentions
So
are nicer. Yeah.
I like to set intentions, right? And then give them to the universe and hand them over to the universe. And I write those, and then we write those out for 2022. And then that's kind of, and we can share them with one another.
That's
If we
beautiful.
want to, you don't have to, of course. But for me, if anybody is on this and is wanting to join into this, I think it's such a beautiful way to send off, to say goodbye to a year and to bring in a new year, right?
Nice.
So I think that's beautiful. And then I also want to mention your upcoming in January for the full moon,
Yes. Thank
because
you.
because I think it's so beautiful when we have a new moon, right?
Yeah.
And what it
Yeah.
means of setting intentions and manifesting what it is we want. And I mean, there's so much more to a new moon, but that's usually grabs people's attention when you talk about it that way.
Yeah.
So I just think I think that might be something that we all want to join in if it resonates with you.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Thank you, Lisa. I'll put the link below when I go back to the comments. Yeah, that's going to be on January the 14th. It's the Friday closest to the full moon. And we're going to do write out things we want to let go of. And we're going to
Nice.
burn them. We're actually going to put them in a pot and
Oh,
light them with
we're doing
fire.
the same thing. Okay, so how funny. I had no
Yeah.
idea that. we were
Oh my God, that's hilarious. Oh, I
no
thought
idea.
we talked about it. Yeah, that's
And
what
if
we
you
do.
did, that's left my mind, but every year, that's what I do on New Year's.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
just thought, I'm gonna share this, and oh, that's so funny.
Yeah, yeah. So we're intending to do it once a month because the full moon is when you release what's no longer serving
Yes.
you. The new moon is when you set the new intentions, right?
Love it.
Yeah, so we're going to do it. My friend Jocelyn and I, she's amazing. She's an opera singer turned mantra healer. So she uses this really cool instrument called the harmonium, and she does these
Okay.
mantras, and she's going to do that, and then I'm going to play my sacred sound bowls, and I'm going to channel, and
Beautiful.
it's just a beautiful environment. Janet's gone to a few of mine. I used to do them earlier this year, but then my first partner couldn't do it anymore. So now I've got a new partner to try this with. So thank you for bringing it up. Yeah, I invite people to join that. And also my team, the leadership team for the Love Your Vibe transformation, Eleanor Hayward and Jennifer Hawkins,
Yeah.
two amazing human beings. They're doing an event and I'm joining as well, sort of just from, the founder perspective on January the 8th. It's a Saturday from 1 to 4:30 EST. And it's essentially a 3.5 hour workshop that gives you an idea of what the Love Your Vibe transformation is about. So it's a very low cost way of finding out more about this personal development solution for heart-centered humans.
Yeah.
If people are interested, I can drop the link for that as well.
Beautiful.
Actually, Janet, if you're able to find it's actually a Facebook event. If you can find it and share it, please do. Otherwise, I can do that later. Yeah, so this is fantastic.
Awesome.
We're just
So
over 30 minutes here, so
I know I
I'll
want to
shut
wrap.
up and you can close up here.
Well, I was just going to say, so I think the Facebook user, of course, we don't know, but I think it's Desiree. I'm not positive. Did you say full moon to let go and new moon to call in and manifest?
Yes, that's exactly it. Yeah. Yeah.
Beautiful.
So
Well, everyone, we do like to honor your time and stop at 30 minutes. So we are at that halfway point. So we are so forever grateful for this. And for those of you that every single week join in, like just
we love
love
you.
it. Yeah, we do. We love it. And of course, we appreciate the support so much. And yeah, just thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Thank
Yes. Yes.
you.
And
Yeah. And
happy New Year. We'll see you next year.
Happy New Year. Yes, we'll see you. And yeah, next Wednesday is the monthly Zoom call. So it's perfect. We have both on the same day. So it's awesome.
Fantastic.
Again, if you're watching this on YouTube, please hit like, share, and subscribe to your heart's content. This is amazing. Get these messages out there and let's raise consciousness on this planet. One person, one light at a time. So
Beautiful.
until next week, we love
Yes.
you and see you then.
Love you. Bye.